I'm Mark Ramsey. I am really pleased and proud to have with me today Ryan Tyrrell. Ryan is the managing partner of a really interesting startup called Rabble. Ryan, I'm going to let you describe what Rabble is, but in a nutshell, it's a platform that allows fans to call their favorite games. Now, this isn't the video or the audio of their favorite games. This is just fans creating their own soundtrack to their favorite games, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's a real-time streaming platform that allows fans to watch their favorite games on TV, and as they watch the games, to make their own calls and their own play-by-play.
So tell me how it works. I mean, we can post a little video intro of it, but I want you to just walk me through how does it work. If I'm someone who wants to either call a game or experience someone else calling a game, how does it work?
Sure. You would be, hopefully sitting on your sofa or wherever you are with your any mic-enabled device, watching your favorite team's game, and you would go to, Rabble.tv or now our iOS app, and you would hit the Create button, and you would quickly schedule a broadcast. Maybe takes 15, 20 seconds, and you would go live. And at that moment, you would just start your play-by-play or your armchair commentary and start announcing your game. And of course, listeners on the other end, fans of the team, fellow fans of the team, can listen to you call the action.
Fellow fans and your own friends, right? Because you flash this out through social media and it goes wide and amplifies attention to the game, for starters, and also amplifies attention to your soundtrack of the game, right?
That's very true. Yeah, I mean the shareability of the product is something we've worked hard on for the very beginning. So allowing fans to share out via whatever social media platform it is that they're on or popular on to share it out with their followers, who and then join the broadcast and then share it out again. So
yeah. I want to stress that this involves no copyright infringement or rights infringement. This does not include the audio of the game or the video of the game, right?
You're correct, yeah, and we go to great lengths to make sure that broadcasters, as they're setting up their broadcasts or just learning about Rabble, know that we do not want to include any of the native audio from the television broadcast in their Rabble broadcast.
And just for the record, when you use the term broadcasters, you're talking about individuals who broadcast using your platform, right?
That's right. Even broadcast is a broad term for us. It can be a guy like me who's just a fan of, say, the Cincinnati Reds or the Tennessee Vols football team, or it can be like SB Nation blogs we have on who do Falcons games or Baltimore Ravens games, who are more sort of type media personalities who are venturing into audio sort of beyond the traditional podcast.
So now I'm assuming that the greatest attention devoted to the platform by fans happens in real time, because these things don't have a shelf life, right? These are like you're calling play-by-play on games as they happen.
That's right. It's all about live with Rabble. Ben McMean, our CTO, has done a wonderful job, building out with his team our streaming platform. So our latency generally sits on 6, 7, 8 seconds. So it's a very live environment. Of course, those broadcasts are available, in an archived state when the broadcaster finishes, sort of like a show reel. But yeah, I mean, we get all of our traction, or the majority of our traction, in a live setting.
Yeah, but it's like watching ESPN Classic at that point, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, but I will say, in a podcast medium, we've had a lot of people come on that are podcasters and other, with other podcast platforms. And they choose to use Rabble first because it's live and they can interact with people on our, message board or whatever as they're actually, doing and recording their podcast. And then they go take that audio file and upload it to their other podcast places.
Okay, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is that this is potentially incredibly disruptive to broadcasters, right? And I'm talking about traditional broadcasters, television and radio, because these people pay all this money for rights fees, and the rights fees inherently include native audio and native video, right? That's essentially what you're paying for, and then you're just doing the color and the play-by-play on top of it. But this has the potential to be so disruptive, because if I can watch CBS's game and turn down the volume and listen to my favorite voiceover person, my favorite color announcer on Rabble, I might do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we think it does have the potential to be very, disruptive. We hope that it also, helps grow these games. I mean, it brings a new kind of angle and interest in for instance, a golf match or a NFL game. I mean, you've got all different types of fans, hopefully wanting to create broadcasts. For instance, we have a lot of female broadcasters that are doing NFL games that are really engaging with the games themselves and creating awesome, unique content and really enjoying watching those games and calling it. So yeah, it is disruptive, but we hope that it helps grow these sports viewership as well.
Well, I could see other alternatives as well, because if you're a broadcaster, a traditional radio broadcaster, for example, and you don't have the rights to the local team, you could essentially rabble the games anyway. And you could have your fans rabble the games, and you can do all kinds of engagement around teams that you don't even pay the exorbitant rights for, right?
Yeah, I mean, we look at it like this, Mark. We are a platform, and any type of broadcaster, whether that be just a fan on a sofa or some individuals that want to do this, that work at a radio station or wherever they work, and they want to do this on their individual time and broadcast these games. We're just the platform. We're not involved with the content. Whatever people want to create, they create it, and hopefully we do a good job servicing it.
And talk to me about your history. You're relatively new, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm new to this space, and the company's very new to this space. We launched our beta product on April 6th, Mark.
Wow.
Pretty raw product at that point, but we come from retail backgrounds, so we're really big on feedback and user feedback. And man, we just shoveled it in and really learned what our audience and our listeners and our broadcasters were saying, and rolled out a new product, kind of a V2 product, on September 1st, and continue to improve the product on all these different platforms right now. It's iOS, Droid, mobile web. We're constantly grinding to make it better.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about how you're tracking at this point. I mean, I know it's relatively young, but what's resonating most, and just how much is it resonating?
It's resonating well. I mean, since we rolled out our new product here in September, we saw a 6x fold in user growth. We're tracking about a 10% weekly user growth rate right now, so we're growing pretty quickly. And we're just excited about it. I guess in terms of the content that's really resonating, we've been big in soccer for a while now. We rolled out during the summer, or really in sort of April, and the major U.S. sports were sort of winding down. So we built a pretty big soccer presence. One of our partners, World Soccer Talk, has been really good to us, help us promote the product within the soccer community. We have some soccer people on our staff that are big. So soccer was a big entry point for us, and now we've gotten into the NFL, which is just one of the greatest products out there. I'm a big NFL fan, a big Titans fan here in Nashville, and so we've kind of segued that into NFL, and now here comes sort of the NBA and NHL as well.
Okay, very interesting. So give me an idea of what your most popular broadcast is and how many people would be listening to it.
That's a very good question. We strangely, our most popular broadcast, which would go totally counter to what we've been discussing, has been a non-sports broadcast. We've had a couple personalities come on and rabble, as we say, or broadcast some debates, starting with the last Republican debate and then this past Democratic debate. And while these numbers are still, lower than where we think we'll be in the next 6 months, they would have, a total playlist of about 5,000 to 6,000 plays and concurrent listeners in that. We'd have anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 concurrent listeners who are listening to that broadcast. So, but a sports broadcast, it can be anywhere. We have small broadcasts as small as, 20 to 30 listeners, and up to 3,000 to 4,000 is generally about where we are.
So, I mean, it's overwhelmingly long tail, but that's not the opportunity. Obviously, is as you gravitate towards more sporting content and more popular sporting events, especially more live games, and you get more people on who are more adept at calling those games and have their own following and have a distinctive, unique, and compelling voice. And especially if any of them ties in with anybody who has a larger platform than the one you build yourself, right? Say a broadcaster. I mean, if ESPN were to reach out to you and say, "Wow, this would be a great fan engagement thing for us. Let's promote this," then you would see usage go through the roof, would you not?
I think we probably would. I mean, you brought up on several good points there. One is we are seeing broadcasters who are really starting to grow their audience. And every time they do a broadcast, it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's very encouraging. Secondly, we're getting much better at routing traffic to those broadcasts. We're understanding how to go out there and to help these broadcasters build an audience. That's a big thing. We're really understanding how to drive traffic to these more established broadcasters, and we're seeing that combination of their promotion and our promotion really start building. So that's huge. And two, in terms of partnerships, yeah, I mean, we are a young company. We will talk to anybody about whether it's a broadcasting partnership or a larger partnership. Obviously, we'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, when ESPN calls, you don't need to tell me you'll talk to them, okay?
Yeah,
they do.
We'll
They do check this blog. They may call, and if they don't, somebody else will, which is why they may call. So, are you working with any? When you say established broadcasters, do you mean like major media people? Are you working with any media outlets now?
When I say, I guess I mean more people that are established in a type media arena, people who have very big established blogs and followings in that capacity, who are working now with us in more of an audio way. They might have had a podcast in the past, but with us in a live broadcasting sense, and really getting some traction.
It's fascinating. Throughout this conversation, one of the things that's been crystal clear to me and to anybody who's watching this is the way we define broadcasters historically is completely different from the usage that you're employing right now. And I completely understand that's the broader definition of broadcasters, because we're dealing with a broader definition of audio and radio. Terrific. So, again, I have to say, I view this as potentially disruptive. I view this as a very interesting opportunity for anybody who's in the space of providing color commentary in calling plays for content that they don't license. And if they do license it, then here's an opportunity to engage more people more directly across that content in all of its shapes and sizes, and hopefully bring more people back to the home brand at the same time. Because, folks, if you don't do it, your competitor probably will. And I'm talking to you, ESPN. All right, Ryan Tyrrell, thank you so much. He is managing partner of a very interesting new startup called Rabble at rabble.tv. Ryan, thanks for your time.
Hey, Mark, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on today.